You, Mike.
Okay.
I'm the lucky one.
I'm always my pleasure to be invited by
No.
Jason.
Always. We like working with you. We want to talk about Westline with you.
Yeah.
Right?
So so today we're super busy with the sale of the prime condo.
Yes.
And we are almost from the launch, from the peak sale, and from the last peak, the jubilee piece of the last chance.
That's right.
I believe right now we're almost close to finish up all the project.
That's right. I mean, what Mike's trying to say is, we just launched a site at Prime Condominiums in the downtown East Core, and we're going right into the market again with a new project. This is our third launch of this year, our fifth project during COVID. So no one's more confident in the market than Centerport is, but more importantly, no one's more confident in the market than our broker partners and our purchasers. Our success is all driven through all the efforts, all the moving parts. It's not just us, and the market's responded, unequivocally positive, and that's why we're bringing Westline to the market in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So, Jason, there's so many projects coming up right now. Just finishing out the M4 and the Voya, and also last week I just do the Vincent's condo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many projects going on right now, and coming out another project is Exchange 3.
Yes.
So I would like to know why people buy Westline condo.
That's a good question. I mean, all the sites you just named off were all 905 sites. So you're seeing a massive distribution between, discrepancy between 905 and 416 sites. We're not seeing a lot of 416 anymore. So that's the first. The number one reason why your buyers, our broker partners, our buyers, our investors are excited about Westline is subway connectivity. Anytime we bring a project that has access to a subway line within a 5-minute walk, it's a smash success because buyers understand what that means. It means accessibility to the rest of the GTA. People wake up, what do they need to do? They need to go to school, they need to go to work. If they cannot do that efficiently, it's not a great location. It's not connected. So that's number one. We're a 5-minute walk from Westline to Shepherd West Subway. We're also a 10 or 15-minute walk to Downsview GO train. So now I'm not just limited to the subway, the map of the subway, I've got this whole other map of GO train. So now my opportunities are limitless. They're exponential compared to any of the sites that you just mentioned. So that's the key pillar there. But what's important about that connectivity is that's where the city wants to build around. I want to build a city where people can get to. I want to build a city where people can efficiently depart to go home, right? Throw in the fact that you have Allen Road and 401, which is a 2-minute drive from the location. This is poised to be a city within a city because what's happening there is a 1,000-acre master plan bigger than anything we've seen in the GTA. And we're not just talking about 1 condos or 2 condos, we're talking about 40,000 residents.
May I know the number? What is the acre you mentioned?
1,000 acres.
Oh, is the biggest number I ever heard about.
We've never seen anything like it.
From the past project I ever sold.
By triple or quadruple.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this scale. So these things take time. We're not talking about building 1 or 2 condominiums. We're talking about building roads, schools, parks, recreation centers, public transportation, mixed-use buildings for office and residential. This is a dynamic space. And what's going to happen in terms of the lands here is going to change how we look at real estate and how we look at Downsview. And you want to be on day one. You want to invest on day one, right? Look at downtown Markham. Look at Mississauga Square One. Look at Concord City Place, VMC, Regent Park. Anyone that invested in day one did incredibly well.
Can you compare those sites you just mentioned, the size compared to?
Absolutely. The biggest of those that I just mentioned was downtown Markham. That's 240 acres.
Yeah.
Downsview Park is 290 acres.
Wow.
Let's think about that. That's a backyard, right? That's your backyard, a 291-acre park. It's not some grass and trees. This is an inclusive, dynamic outdoor space that you can literally get lost in. Now, if you go throughout the GTA and you try and find that kind of park, there's 2 things that can happen. Either the real estate is expensive or it's going to get demolished and turned into condos. You don't find parks like this in the GTA ever. So to have subway, GO train, highway access, York University, Yorkdale Mall, Downsview Park, a master plan community that's going to bring 40,000 new homes, 25,000 new jobs. Of all the condominiums you talked about earlier, none of them are bringing that to the table. None of them have the true growth potential of building a city within a city. And again, if you have a vision, if you're able to see that distance, have that endurance, long-term outlook, which is, the motto of real estate investing. This can change your life.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, the City Place as an example, what I see is 20 years ago.
Yes.
The price is only starting from 200, less than 300, and downtown Markham it's 300 something. Yeah, less than 400.
Yeah.
Right now, the City Place right now is selling 1800.
These communities,
1800, right? For the Concord, yeah, right. So
it's true, right? Like these things take time and they need to mature. And we believe that what's there today creates the proper foundation to set up for a very bright future. The city believes in it. The people that are associated with this development obviously believe in it because of all the key pillars. Public transportation, everyone can relate to that. Institutions, you don't build these overnight, right? Infrastructure. And so when you've got that as the sort of palette, when you put the pieces together, I'm telling you, there's nothing like Westline. And it's important for us to share the story. Not everyone understands this. So you can either learn more, contact Mike and his team, and learn more about this opportunity, learn more about the developer brand in Center Court, right? Or you're gonna get left behind.
yeah, so I believe today I want to seek some value from Jason, from my investor, from my buyer here. So could you tell us what value that the Westline can bring to our buyer and our investor?
Absolutely. Look, the value that we can provide is giving you an opportunity where you don't have to go to Oakville or Barrie or Whitby to get bigger suites, outdoor space. And you don't have to compromise the connectivity in the urban conveniences, right? We still have that. We still have the GO train in the subway. We still give you a massive park. We are still in the 416. We're gonna have larger condominium suites, but we don't have to compromise to going out 45 minutes to an hour outside of the downtown core. And we're on the cusp of this huge master plan redevelopment. It's an ultra redevelopment. So the value is going to be the fact that you don't have to compromise and you're part of this huge sort of growth story.
Yeah, and I know the BMC, which is on the subway extension.
Yes, yes.
Right, so this is going to be the same story happening in Westline.
Yes.
Another, even 10 times bigger than the BMC.
It's bigger. Yeah,
10 times bigger.
It's 10 times bigger than the Smart Centers lot that we were a part of, right?
Yeah.
We did Transit City.
The Transit 1 to Transit 5.
That's right. So we were a part of that in partnership with Smart Centers. And again, think about that, right? Like if you go back 5 years, what did it look like?
Yeah, I believe that the launch for the Transit City 1 is below the 700.
It was around $700 a foot. But if you go back to the VMC 5 or 6 years ago, nothing was there.
Yeah.
The subway wasn't even there, right? Without that subway, you don't have connectivity. Without that subway, people can't go to work. They can't get to school. They can't have people over. And so that is the lifeline to the city, the average person, right? We all, want to commute in the most cost-effective way. Some people don't have a choice. So that's why we continue to bring value in public transportation. We target that in every single one of our sites. This is no different, and I really believe that people are going to be really excited as this starts to develop and grow into one of the biggest stories in real estate.
Yeah. So this is only 5 minutes walk away from the site to the station, the subway station.
That's right, door to door. When you exit the doors of 1100 Shepherd Avenue West, which is Westline, to Shepherd West Subway, it's a 5-minute walk. It's 450 meters.
Yeah. So there's a revitalization area happening in this Allen community, right?
Yeah.
So there's a Wilson, and also there's the Yorkdale itself.
For sure.
Yeah. Right now it's just a retail, and in the next development, they're gonna be totally transformed.
Exactly. You don't have to go very far. If you just drive up, you'll see the construction. It's taking place right now. It's been happening for many years. And so these are moving parts that are slowly coming together. These are puzzle pieces that are forming to create one of the most dynamic communities in the GTA. And again, these things take time. You have to be open-minded, creative, and understand that these are huge projects that have a ton of moving parts. And you can't do it alone, right? A master plan is not one person. A master plan is a community, and that's what you're seeing here. You mentioned at Yorkdale, you mentioned Wilson, which is 1 and 2 stops away. You've got Allen, which is where we're at Shepherd West. You've got Downsview. There's a lot at play here, and we're very excited about the opportunity, but we're excited for investors to get in on the ground level.
So you see, this is truly the phase one opportunity to get into the island community.
Absolutely, for sure.
And while the connectivity is amazing, just 5 minutes walk to the subway, the subway station. What
That's
do you
right.
call the subway station?
It's Shepherd West.
Shepherd West, right?
That's right.
The address is, what is the property?
Our property is 1100 Shepherd Avenue West.
1100 Shepherd Avenue West,
That's right.
So it's just three stop away from the BMC to the York University.
Yeah, we're 3 stops at York U, which is home to 55,000 students, 7,000 faculty members, right? Like, look at anyone that's watching that's been to university. If you're a parent, your kids are in university, you're paying their tuition, you're paying their rent, and you're paying it for multiple years. So who are you paying rent to? Think about that for a moment. And you go to York, you go to U of T, you go to Ryerson, you go to McMaster, you go to McGill, you go to Western, it doesn't Queens. You know, these institutions are not in the business to build student housing. They depend on the private sector to house these students. And so with Westline, with Downsview Park, this whole concept, this whole story, this is a destination point for these students, for these faculty members, as a place to live. These are some of your tenants.
So
5 minutes, 2 stops.
55,000 students and
yeah.
7,000 faculty
right.
for university.
That's right.
For York, right?
That's right.
And I believe right now lots of the students are used to live in the Finch and the Young location, which is probably another close to 55 minutes if the weather is not good. You cannot imagine. You can imagine how long they're going to take them to the York University from the Finch and Young station. Yeah.
Right, and so we're revitalizing and completely changing the fabric of Downsview, making a destination point. But again, there's a lot of parts to this. There's so many things at play. There's a lot of thoughtfulness that's going into this, and execution is key. And we're excited about the people behind this, and we're excited to be a part of it. Look, there's only 424 opportunities, and once they're gone, and we sell fast. So part of it is being dynamic, right? I mean, if you're an end user, you're going to want what you want. We have a bigger unit mix than normal, right? Downtown is a different market. Downsview is a different market. We study these markets. We understand what the demographics look for. And I think it's just being open-minded and having multiple selections. Is there one thing that's better than another? No, there isn't. It's what's right for you. Obviously Mike and his team are going to assist you. Your budget's key, right? Are you going to be living? Are you investing? There's a lot of variables that come into this conversation. But above that, it's having multiple options, because when you have a hot project, sometimes you can't have exactly what you're looking for. Having multiple options, just getting in, being a part of this should be your goal.
Yeah. So the A Wesley sold out in just less than 2 weeks.
In less than 2 weeks.
Another amazing history is in making, and the Prime Condo.
Easily 80% sold within a month.
100% sold out, right?
We're very close, very close. We already started construction.
So
8 Wellesley, we started construction. 55 Mercer, we started construction. 199 Church, we started construction. This is what we do, right?
So there's only 424 unit and 424 opportunity exists for this project.
That's right.
Yeah. So what we need to do to get into part of this opportunity?
That's a good question. You're going to contact Mike. You're going to, ask him the right questions. You're going to ask him about what makes him excited about this and why you should invest, because obviously the future is bright. You also want to ask him the developer brand. Who can you trust? That's one thing that a lot of people don't spend a lot of time on, is who's standing behind this project. Are they doing 0 days of interim occupancy? Have they canceled a project? Do they build as fast as we do? Are they on time like we are? There's a lot of things at play that we do that a lot of people don't do.
One most important is the fully zoned, right?
Fully zoned site, there you go, I love it, right?
That's the most secure part that the investor is very stuck on.
You could be zoned and never get to construction. We do both incredibly well, right?
Okay.
So, you're going to contact Mike and the Condos Union team to learn more, to get first access to Westline, because again, this is not something you want to miss out on. Give this gentleman a call.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. So thank you for my audience and our investor and client. So in order for us to get you the first asset, platinum assets to be into the Westline project, please, we have the phone number and also the contact information down the screen. Please contact my Condos Union team and to get the first access to register, and we're going to invite you after you register to this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you.